Nigeria signs financing pact for multi-million-dollar value chain, supports agricultural development for farmers in 9 states. Chief of Army Staff visits Yobe over resurgence of terrorist activities, assures military's renewed commitment to countering emerging threats. Federal government assures of better mental health policies, expands space for mental health services in line with global best practices. Hello and welcome to the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Chinenye Nwoyi. The federal government has signed a financing agreement for the value chain program in northern Nigeria to revolutionize the nation's agriculture sector. With the signing of the agreement, the implementation of the $158 million project begins immediately to support agricultural development and value addition for farmers in 9 states of the northern part of the country. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
The initiative is co-funded by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, the French Development Agency, and the government of Nigeria. And this signing of financing agreement, 8-year initiative validated on March 21, 2024, expected to reduce poverty, enhance nutrition, and better resilience of rural and most vulnerable population in the 9 northern states of Borno, Bauchi, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Jigawa, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara.
While VCN draws lessons from such models, ours is not about replicating foreign templates. It is about what we can and must do here in our own land and with our own hands. A few weeks ago, we began laying the foundation for the construction of special agro-industrial processing zones across Nigeria, beginning in the north, specifically in Kaduna State. BCN will fit into the SAPZs. It will serve as a steady pipeline of raw materials and ensuring our processors no longer grow poor quality inputs. This synergy will shift us from exporting raw produce to exporting value-added goods, creating jobs, wealth, and industrial stability.
And BCN exemplifies the power of collaboration and shared vision in addressing the challenges faced by our farmers and rural communities. As Vice Chairperson of the IFAD Governing Council, I am confident that the VCN will deliver real impact, empower smallholder farmers, boosting productivity, and promoting climate-resilient, nutrition-sensitive, and inclusive value chains.
The program is expected to improve agricultural productivity and the overall well-being of smallholder farmers and women across the region.
The time we have sufficient jobs and our farmers are getting rewards from their farms, we are likely to see improvement in security situation in our country.
State like ours that has a lot of security challenges, we need the support on IDPs because that support will create a financial ability for those people in that position.
We are ready to work with the IFAD, and IFAD is not new in the agricultural sector in Nigeria, and we know how good they are and what they can do.
We'll do this collaborating with the state. The states are very critical in the implementation of this project, and that's why you are also able to see the participation of the governors in this meeting.
After the signing of the joint roadmap for accelerated start-up between the federal government and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, what is expected is the need for all stakeholders in the project to work for the actualization of the set objectives for the overall interest of national economy. From the State House, Abraman Jibrila, NTA News.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, at the 7th edition of the ongoing ministerial press briefing, reaffirmed that the federal government has developed a holistic approach to deal with the dynamics of insecurity and guarantee the safety of lives and property in Nigeria. To fast-track the needed results and sustain successes, he advocated synergy between the civil population and relevant security agencies.
Security for peace and prosperity, which is the second priority area of President Bola Tinubu, is the gospel brought by the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, as government's investments in modern equipment, intelligence gathering, and interagency collaboration has begun to yield tangible results.
Our troops have neutralized 13,543 terrorists and criminals, arrested 17,469 and rescued 9,821 hostages, while 124,408 Boko Haram/ISWAP terrorist combatant fighters and their families surrendered.
He also stressed the importance of sustained efforts, assuring Nigerians that the Ministry of Defense, in synergy with other security agencies, remains committed to a relentless onslaught against all forms of insecurity.
At this juncture, let me cast our mind to the fact that tragedy unfolding across Benue, Plateau, Kwara, and other states. Hence, we have initiated several non-kinetic mechanisms to ensure that various parties embrace peace and shun violence as means of settling scores.
The minister reaffirmed the administration's zero tolerance for terrorism, assuring that no safe haven will be allowed for criminals within the country. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, is reassuring government and people of Yobe State and the entire Northeast sub-region of military's renewed commitment to countering emerging threats arising from the recent terrorist activities within the Northeast Theater of Operation. Yunusa Suleiman reports that the Army boss made the commitment when he visited the state following recent operational setbacks in the region.
The visit to Yobe State by the Army Chief aims to reassure the government and people of the state and the entire Northeast sub-region of military's commitment of purpose to defeating terrorism despite recent operational setbacks. The Army Chief informed the state governor that additional troops and platforms will be deployed soon to tackle the threats posed by insurgents.
I think as Nigerians, we need to come together more than ever before to see that we checkmate all this myriad of insecurity. Because if we don't, at some point, we will not have a country to live in. So we need the cooperation of everybody, not only Yobians. We need the cooperation of all Nigerians to bring this menace to an end.
Governor Buni commended the nation's armed forces for their gallantry in keeping the country safe, noting that government is sensitizing residents on the importance of collective security, as security is everybody's business.
And as leaders, our primary responsibility is to secure the people. And security here in Yobe State is our first line of charge, and we cannot sit back to relax. We will work with you, we will support all the security agencies, particularly the military. How I wish the Nigerian Air Force also are here, so that we want to see the synergy, because some of these things need to be confronted with air power.
The Army General is visiting Yobe State for the third time since his appointment as the country's 24th Chief of Army Staff. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
Senate has passed 2 tax reform bills which seek to modernize and make more efficient the tax system in Nigeria. The 2 bills passed are the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, which repeals the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill, which seeks to harmonize tax collection. 2 bills which the Senate has scheduled for consideration and passage on Thursday, 8 May 2025, are the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill and the Nigeria Tax Bill. The 4 tax reform bills were transmitted to the National Assembly in October 2024. The 4 bills have already been passed by the House of Representatives. A ray of hope for cancer patients might just be in the horizon as the House of Representatives has passed a resolution seeking financial lifeline for many Nigerians struggling with cancer in form of subsidies for treatment. The House is urging the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare to make cancer screening free nationwide as a crucial step towards detecting the disease early when it is most treatable. Let's go over now to National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikpen for details of this and other parliamentarian engagements.
A motion by Representative Aderemi Oseni draws attention to the fact that the cost of cancer treatment is skyrocketing and the financial burden is heavy on low-income families with cancer patients. By advocating free cancer screening and subsidized treatment, the House hopes to give such families a chance at combating cancer.
The rising burden of cancer is causing a shortage of funding for cancer control, with public financing being considered the most appropriate to ameliorate the suffering of patients with cancer.
Mandate the Committee on Healthcare Services in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and other relevant agencies to establish a mechanism for the federal government to provide subsidies for cancer treatments.
Talking about treatment here, I want to add the prayer that federal government should make screening free.
Another resolution sought military action against resurgence of banditry in Baruten Kayama Federal Constituency of Kwara State.
In recent time, certain group of people armed with all manners of dangerous and sophisticated weapons converge in the forest in the constituency, disrupting people from farming, establishing their own government, collecting revenues from people, killing people at will.
Meanwhile, the managing director of the Nigeria Education Loan Fund has denied allegations of irregularities in the disbursement of student loans during an investigative hearing.
Apart from the fact that the statement by the ICPC was unfounded and later confirmed by them that they were unfounded, there were also some inaccuracies in the announcement. The announcement suggested that we had received 100 billion naira. That figure was wrong. The announcement suggested that 28 billion had been disbursed. That figure was wrong.
At a public hearing on the bill for an act to establish the National Institute for Film and Media Technology, UKAWU, lawmakers are targeting an expansion of the creative sector.
With the population of the country, only one film institute is grossly inadequate.
The creative sector is the second largest employer of labor in the country and has the potential to create an additional 2.7 million jobs by 2025.
There is optimism that the progress of the bill would enhance prospects for job creation. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikpen, NTA News.
The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, says President Bola Tinubu's administration will continue to support the agenda of better mental health policies by expanding the space to ensure mental health services of international standard are available to Nigerians. Chimaroke Ugu reports that this was during the minister's working visit to Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital in Enugu.
On arrival at the Neuropsychiatric Hospital in Enugu, the Minister of State for Health, Isiaq Salako, was conducted around for an on-the-spot inspection of the health facility, where he inaugurated some projects. The minister maintained that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda will continue to play a very critical role in safeguarding the mental health of Nigerians.
My admonition is to encourage the staff to continue to dedicate themselves to work harder. The government will continue to support the agenda of better mental health. We're implementing the mental health policy that was being decided by government.
The The medical director of the hospital praised government effort at making healthcare system accessible and affordable with a focus on universal health coverage. She expressed optimism that the minister's visit will not only bring digital innovation, it will also increase access to essential healthcare services in the hospital.
I feel very happy to have the minister. We are very hopeful that his visits will bring good tidings to the hospital. We will start further developments for the hospital.
Purposeful leadership style of the medical director was among other reasons for the development and enhancement of workers' efficiency.
This is the first time we are having a female as the medical director of the Federal University Psychiatric Hospital, and we have noticed a marked change. What we are seeing is talk and do medical director.
The minister assured the health workers that their welfare is among the topmost priorities of the present administration. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ugu, NTA News.
Here is the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. We'll take a break here. There will be more reports when we return. Do stay.
I therefore call on my colleagues, or media professionals and editors, to be discerning in their reportage. We must deny these groups the undue publicity they crave. We must take them off the front pages and accurately report them as the criminals that they are, without glorifying their acts or giving credence to their false narratives. These, of course, are not freedom fighters. They are murderers, kidnappers, and destroyers, and they must be presented as such.
Many thanks for staying on. The cardinal electors have begun the process of choosing the new Catholic pontiff in the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City following the death of Pope Francis last month. The Sistine Chapel is under lockdown for the voting process. Even phone signals around the chapel have been blocked. Ekene Ndulue reports.
Elector cardinals have taken the oath of secrecy prior to the official start of the papal conclave. The cardinals lined up to take an oath to ensure the secrecy of the conclave to elect the next leader of the Catholic Church. Each cardinal placed their hand on the book of the Gospels to take the oath.
Sic me Deus adjuvet et haec sancta Dei Evangelia.
The oath promises to keep the secrecy of anything that relates to the election of the new pope. Voting will take place in the Sistine Chapel, with ballots continuing in succession until any candidate secures 2/3 of the available votes. If no clear choice has emerged after 3 days, balloting is suspended for 24 hours to allow cardinal electors time to reflect. Since 1831, no conclave has lasted more than 4 days. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has officially launched its 2025 Hajj operations as its advance team are already in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to establish crucial groundwork. This is as airlift of pilgrims to Saudi Arabia is scheduled to begin May 9th, 2025. Tope Alabi reports that the Commission is in its final phase of preparations.
The arrival of the advance team signifies a key milestone in the 2025 Hajj operations and marks the official commencement of Nigeria's participation in this year's Holy Pilgrimage, a major global religious gathering. The team, comprising essential operational staff and senior members of the National Medical Team, left Abuja on Monday following a brief ceremony at the Hajj House. Their responsibility on arrival is the groundwork for the entire Hajj operation, including accommodation, setting up airport reception protocols, and coordinating with Saudi Hajj authorities. While emphasizing the sacred nature of the task, NAHCON chairman Professor Abdullah Saleh Usman charged the team to approach their assignment with a strong sense of duty and commitment.
You must be dedicated, you must be patient to take your duties and discharge it without any fear or favor.
NAHCON, through its Assistant Director Information and Publication, Fatima Sanda Uzara, revealed that 43,000 pilgrims paid for the pilgrimage from the 75 slots given to the states. This is 9,000 short from the 52,000 the Commission had earlier said it paid for their slot. Meanwhile, the Commission has secured clinics in Mecca and Medina with enough bed spaces, distributed yellow cards to states, paid for adequate feeding of pilgrims, and advised against enrolling pregnant women. The inaugural flight is slated for Owerri and has been scheduled for May 9th to Saudi Arabia en route Medina, and the airlift distribution involves flying as Maxair and Umza Airlines. In 2024, a total of 65,000 Nigerians participated in the Hajj rituals, recording 13 deaths during the pilgrimage. Airlift of pilgrims to Saudi Arabia is expected to be completed May 24, and return starts 13th of June to end 2nd of July 2025. From the Hajj House in Abuja, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
The 6th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament is taking pragmatic steps in addressing the high cost of air transport within the sub-region, describing it as a major obstacle to free movement and regional integration. This was during the delocalized meeting of the Joint Committee on Infrastructure, Energy, Mines and Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources holding in Lome, Togo. ECOWAS Parliament correspondent Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
Statistics indicate that West Africa accounts for 54% of the air traffic recorded in the region, with no fewer than 40 international airports, including that of Iyadema in Lome and Murtala Mohammed in Lagos, which are veritable hubs. These airports contribute financially to state budgets in several ways, with taxes which made air tickets cost-effective within the ECOWAS region. This meeting with the theme, Air Transport as a Means of Integration for West African People, a strategy for reducing airline ticket costs, brought together regional stakeholders and experts to discuss the way forward.
La conférence des chefs d'État et de gouvernement lors de son 65e sommet.
Exorbitant cost of air tickets was indicated as one of the constraints to regional integration. As a matter of fact, the cost of air tickets in West Africa is the most exorbitant compared to other regions of the world.
Par les États membres de la CEDEAO, dont la date de démarrage.
The first concern is to align with the principles of the International Organization for Aviation in terms of how to calculate tariffs and taxes, how to eliminate discrimination between users.
Enregistré dans la région avec pas moins de 40 aéroports internationaux.
Together, let us commit ourselves to working towards a more efficient regional aviation system, serving integration and development of our community and making significant progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals.
Members of the Parliament agreed that to achieve the objectives of the third pillar of ECOWAS Vision 2050, economic integration and interconnectivity must be taken to a viable and sustainable solutions for more accessible regional air transport. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
The federal government, in its sustained efforts to fulfill its mandate in the water sector, particularly in addressing numerous water supply challenges, has continued to scale up its commitment to providing potable water to Nigerians. Usman Zubairu reports that this commitment was demonstrated during the inauguration of Geshua Water Supply Scheme in Yobe State.
For quite some time, access to clean water in Geshua town of Yobe State and Emborans has continued to persist despite several interventions by government. This water supply project, with a capacity of 3,200 million liters per day, is one of the interventions by the federal government to address the lingering water crisis. It is expected to serve over 1 million residents with safe, clean and potable water. Handing over the project, the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation described it as a significant intervention aimed at resolving the long-standing water supply issues in Gashua and surrounding communities. Prof. Usev urged the state government to ensure inclusive stakeholders' engagement and create an enabling environment for the Yobe State Water Board to sustainably manage the infrastructure for the benefit of the community.
We from the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, the sustainability of our project is very key to us, and it's very key to this administration. And it's in line with that our contractors do not only construct this facility with the way into the personnel that will managing this particular area.
Yobe State Governor, represented by the Deputy Governor, Idi Barde Gubana, expressed profound gratitude to the federal government for the intervention. The Gashua Water Supply Scheme was conceived in response to occurring outbreaks of waterborne diseases caused by contaminated water. Usman Zberu, NTA News.
And that concludes the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Many thanks for watching. I am Chinenye Nwoyi.